You see it. Hair's a little wet, so that's why, just got out the shower, tight shit. You know what I mean? All right, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another reaction. This channel reaction made at this point. I got plans for the future. Don't worry, this ain't all we gonna do. But for now, we just sticking to this. All right? I'm not gonna keep y'all waiting too long. The intro at this point, the intro is only like a minute long. So I'm doing better. I'm getting better. I'm cutting it shorter. All right, now I'm letting it go too long. Let's get to the video. Let's get to it. So as you see in the title, okay. So as you see in the title, it's 6 plus size people versus 1 fake. Let's see. I always get the intro, by the way, if you wanna. I always get the intro. Let's get to it.
Here wear jeans.
Yeah.
Where do you guys buy your jeans from?
That honestly depends.
I'm not gonna lie, I would already lose. I know that what's that place for like plus size niggas? There's a place like near my crib that's just all they sell, but I forget the fucking name.
I
think about it.
I present more masculine, so a lot of the times I will like resource to Old Navy. I'll just kind of go there and like get one of the bigger pairs. I actually did just get a pair from Old Navy like a couple weeks ago, and I love it, but it's a little big in the waist, so I do have to take it in. I'm probably gonna tailor it though. So, but I do love Old Navy jeans.
Oh shit, my fault.
Section.
Really wear jeans, but I think the only 2 pairs that I own are from Shein.
Okay, so is it him who's not the plus size? Cause when they zoomed in on her, I peeped. So I'm guessing it's this nigga.
I feel like it depends what style I'm going for.
True.
Like for fitted jeans, I definitely think, like,
him.
Good American's my go-to.
Pete,
Obviously, they're like on the higher end of like pricing wise, but they like make my ass look great.
Well, that's the thing. Also, like getting the confidence to actually wear what you
Stop
want.
it.
It took me forever. So
Nah, but
when
that's
I
fair.
actually did.
That's
I'm
fair.
still in the mentality
That's
when
fair.
I was like 16, 17, and I could fit in a medium. So I'm like, oh, I can't go to the same stores. Like, I
Right.
can't go to a mall and buy clothes anymore.
I would say 2 years ago, I would go to like Goodwills and Value Villages, but that has become a lot harder as of late.
The reason that I chose to do this was mainly
Fair, yo, that nigga's on timing, bruh. That nigga's on timing.
because it meant a lot to me to share the idea of like, as you transition away from being in a bigger body to potentially being in a skinnier body, that is not something that like makes you harder working or better at like achieving some sort of goal than the other person or another person that you may see in a plus size body. And going into it, I like promised myself I wasn't gonna tell any lies. I was gonna be very truthful and speak on every kind of experience that I had leading up to today. I wanted to make sure that what I was saying was stuff that I lived through. I think putting on a character would be disrespectful to the other people that were here today.
I just thrift most of my
Fair.
clothing, and like I have a tailor for my pants anyway.
Shout
like
out
back
to the
in,
tailors.
yeah, 100%.
He's better than me. I would have been capping my ass off. One, I have been fat before. I wouldn't say I was plus size, but I've been fat, and I would have been capping my ass off.
Said, especially when I'm back home. I'm 15 minutes outside of New York City, so I usually just commute in there. There's this one thrift store, I don't know if anybody's been, called the L Train, and like that is really good for carrying bigger sizes. Back in my actual hometown, I can go to my tailor very easily. It's like a 5-minute drive from my house.
Okay.
So I thrift probably 90% of my clothing, cheaper,
Slay.
saves energy, and like it feels way easier.
There is no way he's gonna go pay like $15 for jeans, then go pay $45. Like, I get it. As a plus size person, tailoring for some things, great. But I could not believe for a second that he is tailoring every set. And I was like, he is not fat anymore.
Not gonna lie, I shop at Ross a lot or Marshalls, and finding jeans is hard. It's a hit or miss. Sometimes at Ross they'll have bigger sizes, sometimes they don't. But if it says stretch, then I'm usually good on it.
I actually didn't even share where I got my jeans from. I realized that. I usually shop at like American Eagle. Jeans in general are like a struggle to find. Either they fit your thighs and they don't fit your waist, or they fit your waist and it's a struggle.
If I'm quiet and me being honest, I just don't want to be disrespectful. They're kicking out, dude.
Oh man. I did feel, I guess, invalidated in a point because they were talking about, brands and, and stuff that I can't really afford. So I thought my answer of, I shop at Ross because that's what I could afford, I thought that's what kind of eliminated me.
So I was gonna say, if any of you guys did any form of like performance as a kid, and I know we were talking about how some of us were models before, sorry about names, but how that affected you growing up and how like the idea of performing and being on stage was definitely more difficult for you than your peers.
That is an awesome question.
Well, you start since there.
Yeah. So I was on the math team for my elementary school, which was like very fun and I enjoyed it a lot. But before our first meet, when we were doing practices and such, they gave us the vest sizes. And I remember putting on the largest vest size that they had and it clinging to my skin and making me very uncomfortable. And I walked into the bathroom and I was looking at myself in the mirror and I was like, I can't do this, and I quit. And it really frustrated me that I let that.
Look, before like we continue this video type shit, being plus size is unhealthy. It's unhealthy. You're not a terrible person if you're plus size. But look at this nigga. He's telling me that he was clearly fat at one point. That's kind of what like he stated before. And nigga's skinny. So if he could do it, we all can do it. Words of motivation from Anthony Mercedes.
That take away something that meant a lot to me. That was definitely like my first experience with like, it is very difficult for me that outside elements are going to take who I am and make that a form of a problem.
As a woman in a plus size theater community, it's like I always got the funny roles or the really unattractive roles. And I'm like, I'm big.
Okay. The plus size women are usually the funny women. But like, it's just, I feel like that's how Hollywood made it. It's not really her fault, They do be the funny ones. And there's nothing wrong with that. The uglier roles is crazy. I'm not gonna lie. The uglier roles is crazy.
Big, that doesn't mean I'm hilarious. Like,
Girl, we could talk about this forever.
Yeah, so that's super powerful because performing and becoming into yourself, you either have to be overly confident and fake it till you make it, or it will tear you down. So I'm very sorry that happened to you.
How do we all identify? Do we identify, like, what do we use to label ourselves if you have one?
PHAT. Thank you.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
I have a weird feeling about that one for some reason.
Really?
I like just normal.
Yeah.
Because I'll say fat and then people will be like, oh my God, fat. And then I'll be like, it's not inherently a bad word.
not a
It's
taboo
an
word.
adjective.
I
That's
say
the
fat all
thing.
the
No, but it
time.
is kind of taboo because I was like,
Same shit with black. You can call black people black people. I'm sorry. That was just in my head. And it's been in my head for a minute. You can say black people. It's not a taboo word. Some people are so afraid and they try to dodge it. Just say black people. All right, my fault.
like, oh yeah, I'm fat. Don't say that. You're beautiful. I am gorgeous, but I am fat.
I didn't say I was ugly.
It's oh my God,
Yeah,
bro.
I'm sorry, I misspoke.
I was
People
like,
treat it like it's
right,
taboo, and
right.
that's
So
the
it's
issue, really.
it's two truths. I'm like,
Exactly, yeah.
I feel beautiful, but I am fat. Being fat or plus size does not mean that we're not
Being
active,
confident is a
that we're not
plus.
nice people, that we're not
Being
worthy,
confident,
like worthy.
confident,
It really sucks when people treat
confident,
you differently
confident
because you're a size 18
is
and
fire.
they're a size 2 or 4.
When I, like, for example, great example, I went Halloween shopping, and it's really hard because, like, first and foremost, trying to find the plus size costumes, they're like, it's just kind of integrated everywhere. And it's like, realistically, you have 200 costumes here, but only like 10 are for plus size. Then I go on to the other costumes,
There's a hint. I'm sorry.
and I was like, my choice is to be like a duck or the
Amazon exists.
the plus size nun costume covered boobs, knees, everything, but the skinny costume for the other nun was like tits out for her.
I'm not gonna lie, that's foul. Oh, that's foul. Whoever did that, you're foul. You're foul. You wanna know what this reminds me of? When Future went to the strip club and people were mad at him because he said no fat bitches allowed inside. Not my words, those were his, but nah, That's crazy.
And I'm like, so I literally like my choice is like be a bubble bath or a duck. And I'm like, I need a plus size section when I walk into somewhere because we have not progressed in human society.
There was this
was-
brand
sorry.
that had this big campaign saying they were launching extended sizes, and then it came out and it was like completely different than the straight sizes. And I'm like, we are just asking for the same thing.
Why
in
do
a
they get
size.
cocktail dresses and I get moon?
Literally.
Okay. Who do you think we're gonna guess? Cause we can't guess numbers and shit like we did in the past video. So we gotta guess who they finna vote out. They can't vote out. He's killing it in the red. He killing it. I feel like they gonna vote out number 2. That they don't talk. Taco D. I think you're out. All right, buddy. Type shit. Oh yeah, she was on his ass. I was wrong.
Shut the up. What? Me?
Girl.
Like I feel like that's something like you should be happy about.
Yo! Oh my god!
I didn't know it.
My fault.
Me out!
I am equally shocked.
I'm psychic. I know. One of you was on to something.
If you think the mole is still
No. I know.
It's very ironic. All right, I'm
One of you
sorry.
was on to something.
if you think the mole
Sorry.
is still in the box and you wish to continue playing the game, please raise your hand.
Why wouldn't you do it, bro? You want to get as many out as you want.
Who lived as a fat
It used
person,
to be, yeah.
but lost the weight. But usually, a lot of the times, people that do grow up fat or go through weight loss journey, they end up being more fat phobic. That's not in
Really?
all cases. It's not in all cases, but it
And
really does.
maybe because like you hated. I wouldn't say hated yourself, but you hated being fat so bad that you never want to go back. So I guess you become fat phobic. I guess that's fair. That's a fair point.
A lot.
Turning it on that, like I really do think that in my personal experience, people that go from being in a bigger body into like becoming skinny feel some sort of resentment, especially because I think they tie achievement to what they've done for some reason. Like
You
there's
selling
this-
yourself
There's
out.
this very
self
big
out.
principle of like, look at what I've done, and they
Nah,
push
chill,
this like
bro,
American
chill, bro.
dream-esque mentality of
Honestly. Yeah,
like
and
genuinely
it's
like I worked
exactly-
hard and I did this, and it's like, well, not everybody wants to do that.
and
Not
like,
everybody
that's
wa-
fine.
Like,
That's
Fair. And I get what you're saying. But it's just not healthy, bro. It's just not healthy, and it makes life harder. Like it genuinely does. But I get what you're saying.
It's fine. If you want to lose weight, do that. But you don't need to like project that onto everyone else.
That's
And I
that's
think
fair.
if you were
That's
somebody who
fair. That's
lived
fair.
That experience
You
as
would
a fat person,
understand.
you would
Honestly,
understand.
dating, I've met many guys who were like, I used to be big, so I understand that being smaller is more desirable. And it's just like this conversation just rubs me the wrong way because I've been met with so many people who think like that. And like the worst person I dated was very fat phobic, and they used to be bigger and they lost weight, and they were like shaming me about my body, being like, we'd have
That's
better
wrong.
sex if you were smaller and all that shit. Like,
Oh my gosh. That was foul. Oh my gosh. Holy shit.
No, 100, and it's the connotation, right? Like,
Yeah.
because they like quote. Sorry,
Fat
I was
is
gonna.
bad.
Well, I was gonna throw up air quotes, but we all have blindfolds on.
Yeah.
Because they like put in the work.
Yeah.
That part being air quotes, and like became
Yeah.
into a skinnier body.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there's this idea
Wait,
like
yeah.
you aren't working as hard.
Yeah.
So not everybody, but
Right.
again, not everybody
Yeah.
wants to work that hard.
Exactly.
quote unquote.
Can we also go down the line and maybe just say if we have been fat or plus size most of our life, or if
Oh,
it,
actually, that's great because I wanted to say for me it was a little bit different. Growing in South America, there isn't a lot of overweight people, obese people, and I've always been curvy, so to speak. And I was fine, but I was still like, you know how they say I spent my skinny years thinking I was fat? So I moved to the US when I was 16, and I started gaining weight. The life here is different. I wasn't as active, I wasn't doing sports anymore, and then I was on birth control. So for me, it was hormonal imbalance that made me gain a lot of weight. But it really sucked, and in my own skin, I'm gonna start crying, I'm sorry. you know, like being skinny and like now you're fat and like everybody treats you different.
I think it's difficult too because you know, I grew up fat. I've been fat my entire life, and I've always envied in a way I've always wondered what it would be like to live in a thin body and have people treat you differently. Like I've dreamt about it, and I think that is really difficult when you exactly. I understand what you're saying. Like you've lived both, and it's hard.
But you can live that life. You can.
Hard because, you know, from people who haven't, it's just we can't even
You
fathom.
don't even understand.
Yeah.
And speaking into the whole spending your skinny years feeling like you're fat, I definitely relate to that. I'm a bulimia survivor. I was bulimic for about 8 years, and I also played volleyball and it was in theater and stuff like that. And the only reason I stopped throwing up and binging and purging is because I was losing my voice, and I love to sing, and I got nodes.
No, that's the worst.
Shit.
Oh my God.
I went from mezzo soprano to mezzo alto.
Are we all crying now?
Pretty much. But yeah, like if it didn't affect my voice, I don't know if I would have stopped.
Really?
It really broke my heart after, you know, having to vote people out who in my heart I knew were fat. To just feel invalidated, that sucks. That really sucks.
What?
Again, bro, like, it's a good thing.
I wasn't crying. I'm sorry, y'all.
So the eliminations is something that we're wrestling with. Do you feel like it took away from the experience?
It was just like being in the space where we were sharing our stories and everything felt so heartfelt, but it's just a game. But overall, it was really awesome to be in the space and have these conversations that don't happen often if you don't have fat friends to talk about them with. As someone who grew up very self-conscious and didn't know where to look and turn to see people like me, I take that on as an adult to speak about these things and have these conversations that we're still confused about.
If you think the mole is still in the box and you wish to continue playing the game, please raise your hand.
I swear to God, if anyone's lying, oh my God, I'm so
For real.
pissed.
If the lights turn green, that means
You making this
you
nigga
have
feel
voted
bad
the
right
mole
now.
out and you
Oh,
win.
he feels so
If
bad
the lights
right
turn
now.
red, that
He
means the mole
feels
is still in the
so
box and
bad.
you lose. 1, 2, 3.
Oh no, we lost.
On the count of 3, everyone can take off their blindfolds. 1, 2.
Oh, he feels so bad.
I knew it.
Wow.
I told a heartfelt story about dating someone fat phobic. You guys voted me.
Okay, can we talk about 1,000,001 reasons why it was Derek?
Okay, the only one that got me was like the theater. Like I really could relate with that. So I obviously know that
No.
you really were through that.
That's
I think that was true.
It was true. That's what I'm
Promise,
saying.
That's an
Gave me
important
away
thing.
was
Nothing.
taking you away was
There's
that
not a single.
you
Yeah.
were getting-
So when I was in 4th grade, I was
Bro feels so bad right now.
4 feet tall. I was 144 pounds, and my doctor told me that I was morbidly obese, and it was a very like self-image wrecking thing for me because he used language that made it seem like I needed to change as opposed to just assessing where I was. Like I said, everything that I talked about before was true, but when we were talking about people being incredibly fat phobic that go through a transition of being in a bigger body and then ending up quote unquote skinnier, that experience for me was I mistook the pain that came with not having self-love as being associated with a number on a scale. And as I kept moving the goalposts further and further away from myself and saying like, this will be when I'm happy with myself, and this will be the time in my life where I like the way I look, and once I do this, I'll be happy with myself, I was no happier than when I started. I just kept being further and further from a goal that I was changing. I am happy not because of the way that my body looks, but because I can have self-acceptance, and that's a very difficult journey for anybody to go on, and me losing any form
But you're healthy. But I get what you're saying. But you're healthy.
of weight played no factor in that. I hope that in watching this video, somebody can learn that the horrible stereotype that they have of plus-size people, whether that be that they're lazy or sluggish or they don't eat right or they're not healthy, there are people that are plus size that are faster than you. There are people that are plus size that are in better conditions than the average human being.
Fair. You got me. Fair. You got me.
I was definitely plus sized for a long period of my life, and I still feel the residuals of like the way people treat you for being in a plus size body, like to this day.
This is the first time that I'm hearing a lot of these things. Because at least for me growing up, it wasn't like being bullied or anything like that. It was just like my own mind attacking myself. Like seeing in the mirror and be like, oh my God, you're fat. You need to lose weight. Outside of that, like I didn't experience like the bullying and name calling. I didn't see any of that. So like hearing you guys, like that's a lot.
Cause when it comes to Hispanic, I feel like in our own families, if you fat nigga, you gonna get doodled on, dookied on type shit. But like other than that, like most like Hispanic y'all, they be big people type shit. You feel what I'm saying?
I couldn't tell like how I had an eating disorder when I was younger and how I overcame that, and then I slowly started drifting back to it, and I'm trying to lose weight now in a more healthy manner. So I wish I could have told that story to the group.
I'm sorry to anybody that shared something personal and then like because of this feels like they were lied to or abused. Like I came into the game with the idea of just having fun, and I promised myself like I'm not gonna lie a single time that when I speak. It's like I didn't want to like come in here and build a character.
I hope people who watch this video, no matter what size you are, I think it's important that we're just kind to people and treat everyone with respect.
I hope everybody just takes away like empathy. You never know.
I got something for that. You know, if you want to be big and you don't give a fuck about being skinny, then be big. There are fat people that are faster than you. At the end of the day, it's like low-key not that serious. Like, to be... But there you have it. That was 5 plus size people and 1 fake, which wasn't really a fake, but he was a fake. Tight shit. Make sure you spam the like button. Let's try and get 10. Make sure you hit the sub. We at 85. We 15 away from 100. From our first 100. Remember to hit the post notification button so you know when I drop, once a week. Y'all be liking the once a week. I feel like when I get like more views and stuff when I post once a week. So y'all like once a week. So that's what I'm gonna give y'all. Alright. Remember to have a good day, have a good morning, good afternoon, good night. Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite. I came with that on my own. Again, I love y'all G class. Nah, I mean like I really love y'all G class. Like I really love y'all G class. I really love y'all G class. Alright, well, I love y'all G class, and I'll see you next time. Peace.